in a galaxy far, far away.
Funny things that you discover when your curiosity is piqued. The other day, I was messing around, mocking Leslie Headland on the second trailer for The Acolyte, which has now 70% dislikes. And on that note, they put they put a scene up. It's only got 124,000 views. So people just aren't interested. Okay, that has got to kill them. But anyway, let's go back to what I was talking about. So I get on there and I'm looking at the comments, and oh my gosh, somebody said she wrote a play about Harvey Weinstein, implying she was a victim. So I went and looked, and I found an article from Entertainment Weekly about the play, and how people were saying it's about how abusive Harvey Weinstein was. It's not like, tell you guys something, it is not like people in Hollywood didn't know what kind of a scumbag this asshole was. Now Headland, I'm going to put the article in the description box so you guys can read it. The article is an interview. Headland says, oh, no, it's not about, the assistants isn't about Harvey Weinstein, nothing like the crazy shit that the boss, and it's funny, she calls the fictional company the Weisinger Company. That's not a leap. It's like, it is about him. Okay, but he didn't care at the time because he was safe. Okay, so, and she just put it on there happily. And the funny thing about it is when you read it, you realize they were so happy with the play that the Weinstein Company paid to have it on off Broadway. Okay, and it's about 4 or 5 different assistants to a guy named Daniel Weisinger. Okay, and Weisinger's a batshit crazy perfectionist asshole. Okay, but he's worse than Harvey. Okay, Harvey laughed at it. Okay, I believe it. And Headland, when you read the article, you're going to see that she gloats about how much she loves Harvey Weinstein. But then he helped her with this play, and he helped her get her first Netflix deal, The Bachelorette, which was acquired by Netflix back in 2012. Okay, so this was a love fest until it became convenient for her to dump him. But the idea that she's some sort of victim is bullshit, okay? And, she lasted 6 years at his company, working for him directly, okay? And being a personal assistant, you have to do a lot of shit you don't want to do, all right? Like pick up his dry cleaning. If you've ever seen the movie The Devil Wears Prada, it was like that. A lot. I had a boss who was really completely demanding and mean to me. Not Mr. Army. He was great. Capitol Hill was much more fun than working out in the federal government where I was. A lot more fun. A lot more energy. But we're not talking about that. Harvey apparently didn't bother Leslie, or she's lying. So he keeps giving her money and he keeps supporting her endeavors. Okay. So, when Me Too happened, she conveniently threw him under the bus. But look at 2012. She might as well get her Harvey Weinstein knee pads. Okay. I'm serious. I really am. I mean, this article is fascinating for the simple reason she's the biggest hypocrite I've ever read about. She's an LGBTQ XYZ, I don't give a fuck, activist. She screams about women's rights and then never calls the rapist out. And I've said this before, I'll say this again. Reading this article, you realize that she knew everything he did, and because she was an ambitious little bitch, she conveniently forgot about it because of what he could do for her, career. All right? Quid pro quo. I'll help you, you help me. All right, you just keep your mouth shut. And and he didn't even have to tell her to. I mean, she talks about learning at his feet, for crying out loud in this, all right, article. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. But let's talk about this further because it's fascinating.
This is like what we understand to be Star Wars, like the idea that like that only came from George Lucas, that only George Lucas holds the key for what we understand to be Star Wars is just untrue. And I think the prequels are an excellent example of that. I mean, the idea that like when you're hiring a director, that everyone is sitting in there waiting for George Lucas and not for the person who's going to know to hire Ralph McQuarrie, that's the problem. That's the misogyny and the problem with the auteur myth as it stands today, because they're not thinking this is the person that will hire the right people and this is the person that will be able to create the lookbooks and direct people to get them to that place. They're just thinking, do you have all the answers? And the truth is that nobody does, and anybody that says they do.
No, stop. Not one more crooked word. Your tongue could open a wine bottle.
She's not an agent. It's not like she worships the devil.
Well, she doesn't have to. He worships her.
Hello, Marta. I'd like to speak to Maris. Oh, why not? Ah. She's in the final level of her guru's serenity training, the week-long vow of silence. Day 6. No, Marta, that's all right. She doesn't have to come to the phone. Just give her this message. I've flushed out her family secret. Hello, Maris.
Get out.
Be here all night.
Get out!
So here's the second question that Headland was asked by E.T., or Entertainment Weekly, and this is her response. And it's like, when you get to the bottom of this, and you read how much she loved him at this time, all you can conclude is this love fest for him lasted until it became not cool. And then she gladly threw him under the bus. But I am going to be very honest here with you guys. Had he not been caught, had he not been called out, had he not been thrown into prison, had he still been out there schmoozing the Oscar, the Academy of Motion Pictures for Oscars, and grooming the next big named actress, she would still be singing his praises, all right? That's the thing that pisses me off about this whole phony bunch of bullshit. Damn well, she was part of the Get Rid of Gina Carano movement at Lucasfilm. She was the one that started that GoFundMe, all right? We know that Paolo Hidalgo told the Deadline reporter that Gina was out. There's on his old Twitter account, the day it happened, right before it was announced, he just posted an evil smiley face. Okay, now we have proof that he was the one who put out that there was a Ray movie coming out, and the same writer picked it up and put it in another website, on another website, Wired, I think. Okay, so this is all just connected to a bunch of very bad people at Lucasfilm who scream and shout woke shit, but when it comes to actually practicing what they preach, they don't. I mean, you know, Pablo doesn't have pronouns in his bio, but his wife does. Okay. All right. She is probably one of those idiots who wanted to confront Gina about not having pronouns in her bio. But weirdly, Pablo doesn't have any. You know? And you gotta remember, when Leslie Headland got her chance to be a showrunner for Lucasfilm, she left Twitter. She privated her account and then she left. She privated her Instagram and then she left. Why? Because she cannot handle the fact that people were calling her out for who she worked for. Meanwhile, this leaves Kathleen Kennedy with egg all over her face. I mean, when the guy who was interviewing Kennedy at Star Wars night at Dodger Stadium had to bring up the acolyte to her, and she said, oh, yeah. Okay. She won't talk about it. Why? Because she's the idiot who decided what a great idea we'll have Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant be a showrunner for Star Wars. It'll be woke and great. Okay. I mean, this is classic South Park Kathleen Kennedy. Okay. This is classic South Park Kathleen Kennedy. All right. And it's like, why the fuck would you hire this bitch? Because the people, like George said, they didn't know what they were doing. They don't know anything about the Force, the universe that he created. Only he does. Okay. And you're looking at it, you're going, he's right. And then you've got, you guys seen it again, Headland, on a podcast, you know, being a moron, an uneducated, ignorant dipshit. Why the fuck does she have a Star Wars show when she doesn't know anything about George? And all she can do is put him down and the prequels down, which of course is LA, Hollywood, popular speak, okay? Because none of them like the prequels. Okay, but you gotta remember, these people didn't like George Lucas to begin with. And she's just playing along for kudos. Just like until Harvey Weinstein got arrested, she played along with it because he was popular and he was helping her career. And again, I'm gonna say this. When you read the article and you look at her, at Leslie Headland now, you know goddamn sure that if he had never gotten himself in trouble or had never been called out, Leslie Headland, my friends, would still be singing his praises, and he would still be running around helping her with her career. This is Steph, signing out. I'll see you in the galaxy.